Alright, so here we have a problem with a computer that we need to repair. You can see we have an error code here. It won't boot up, and we don't have any system media. I'm just going to hit enter right there. And as you can see, the problem is this WRkrn.sys file. That seems to be a problem with the antivirus Webroot. So in this video, we're going to attempt to fix that. Now the problem is we need to get into the computer so we can rename this file here. But since we can't log on, really our options are limited. We could use some sort of a program like a mini Windows XP that we can boot into, or even some Acronis programs, or any program that will allow you to boot into it and then access your file system. What we're going to do is just take the hard drive out of this computer and plug it into another computer and rename this file and see if we can get it up and running. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, before we go digging into the computer, of course, make sure it's unplugged, which it is, and you'll want to go ahead and remove the battery if, of course, you're using a laptop. There we go. And now we need to remove the hard drive, which I'm guessing is going to be behind this plate. So we'll go ahead and take this off. And all computers, laptops especially, are going to be a little bit different on how they come apart. Make sure you don't break anything pulling these tabs out here. Of course, always make sure you have all the screws out, which I believe we do. We'll just pop this off. Okay, so we got our plate off. Here's our hard drive. Again, this is something that's going to be different depending on the kind of laptop you have, the manufacturer. We have one screw in this one here on this tab here, so we'll just unscrew this. All right, screws out. You can see how the hard drive kind of moves there. We'll just slide it because it's plugged into our SATA connector there, so you just slide it away from that. And there's usually a tab on this that you can pull it out. All right, so now we have our hard drive. And a lot of times in laptops, your hard drives are going to be in something that's called a caddy. We have to take this out of the caddy so we can put it in our adapter that we're going to use to connect it to the other computer. So let's go ahead and take all these screws out of the caddy here. Okay, so now we have the caddy off of our hard drive. And you can see this is a SATA hard drive, 2.5 inch. So how are we going to plug in this hard drive to another computer? Well, it's very easy, as long as you have a dock. Very easy. These things always come in handy. This is a USB dock. All right, and you can see the inside there that accepts these smaller hard drives or full-size hard drives. So all you do, plug it in, make sure you get it correctly. Then we'll plug the dock in via USB to our other computer, and we'll be able to search this hard drive just like any other hard drive. All right, so we have the dock and the hard drive connected to our working computer here. Let's go to this PC, and here's the hard drive. We'll just step into it here, and where you want to go is Windows. And by the way, I do not recommend doing this if you don't know what you're doing. You can mess things up, especially here in the Windows folder and in the System32 folder, which is where we are going. You should avoid this folder at all costs, but this is how you fix this problem. If you want to do it yourself, if you're not comfortable, have someone like me do it, okay? So I'll just hop in here to the System32 folder. Now you can just type in that WRK if you want, or we can just find it. And for that, again, we're on our hard drive that we have plugged in, which, let's go back here, this PC. This is the hard drive, H in our case, and then Windows, and then you want System32. Then you want drivers. Once we're in drivers, we'll just come way down to the W's. And we'll find our right here, WRkrn.sys. And you can see that's the Webroot Secure Anywhere. That is what is messing up our boot. So we'll just click it again here while it's highlighted, and we can just change the name to something else. So I'll just add a 1 to it. And we'll hit continue. You have to apply administrator privileges, and that should be all we need to do. Okay. So I'll close this out, and we'll go ahead and reinstall the hard drive into our computer. Okay, so now we are done with our dock there. Just pop the drive out there. And like I said, you can, of course, use something that lets you boot into it, like some sort of a mini OS, and you can have that on it like a USB stick, and you can boot into that on your computer that won't boot, and then you can head into the hard drive, searching through that sort of virtual OS, but although it's not virtual, and you can sort through the file system that way and change the name, or you could even delete that file if you want. I just prefer to change the name until we know that this actually works. But this is the way we do it. We did it by using a dock. And you don't have to screw this in right now. You could actually just plug it in and test first. But I'm going to go ahead and button it all up. All right, we have the caddy on, and so you can see how the hard drive slides in there. If you forgot, just slide it on. It should slide on easily. You should not have to force it. All right, and I'll replace this screw for the caddy here. Then we replace the panel on here. This one kind of just snaps in. You know, all laptops are kind of different. There we go. And I'll replace that screw. Then we'll turn it on and see what happens. But of course, before we turn it on, we should replace the battery. All right. Let's go ahead and turn this puppy on. Okay, so we'll power it on and see if it comes up. And we're loading up. And let's see if we get that error. We're already getting farther than we were before. We're actually getting our progress wheel. We weren't even getting that before. It was going directly to that repair screen. So it looks like this is going to work. Give it a few more seconds. And there we go. We actually have our computer up and running now. Okay, so that's how we solved that problem. I'm pretty sure this computer has some more problems, so I'm going to go ahead and get to those. But if you had the problem with the Webroot, that is how you can take care of it. Again, be very careful messing around in that System32 folder there. I would suggest just renaming that Webroot. Just add a 1 to it. You can delete it if you want. I'm told that file will be recreated and rebuilt on the next boot. My actual suggestion would be to, after you get in and boot up, go ahead and uninstall Webroot. I do not like it. I do not like Webroot. That's my opinion. You know, if it causes these kind of problems, I'm just not for it, okay? But again, that's how you can fix that problem, just by renaming that Webroot kernel file, okay?